Greetings, traveler.
Hello everyone, I just finished playing day 1 in the Trinket meta and I want to share with you what worked for me today so you can use it in your own games. Number 1, if you can be Nagas, be Nagas. For a simple reason that if you hit sushi roll later, which you can only really be offered if your board is already in Naga, because Trinkets do care about what you have on your board, you just win the game if you hit sushi roll. I've had this once, I've seen other people hit it. You just do not get contested when it comes to stats. And this is because Deep Blue is insane if it gets casted twice. And not only that, everything is extremely synergistic. You can have lots of golden units now because Sestit Shaker was changed where now it works with any spell, so you can bounce Eyes of the Earth Mother off it, which will extremely likely get nerfed, but for now it's just a free golden board because your whole core is tier 4 or lower. Your Zesty is tier 4, your Deep Blue is tier 3. Yeah, you can't make a golden Shelemental, but you know, that's for later anyways. So you get golden Deep Blue, golden Zesty, this ramps up your Deep Blue like crazy, and then all you have to do is find a Shelemental at some point and you can just slam all your buffs into the shop. You will create an insanely big minion. If you have the Mirage guy in, you can even cast that to double the health in the shop, and then you just play one Shelemental and 2 of your units will copy all those stats. It's crazy broken, will 100% get nerfed. If you have multiple Shelementals, if you have a golden Shelemental, it gets even nastier. Super strong. So for that reason alone, it's super worth to pick up Nagas early so that when turn 9 rolls around, you have a chance to be offered sushi roll and just win the game on the spot. Then 2, early Automaton is really nice. It opens up so many build paths and there are lots of trinkets that you can hit to capitalize on it. Early on, Automaton is already strong because even if you only have 2 of them, they're both 2/5s, they both get the buff, so they're already really good minions, and then any kind of synergy is just going to allow you to win game after game. You can be Lich King and Reborn it, you can be Terran and Hero Power it, or you could open up a trinket that summons 1 Automaton per turn. And then later on, you can hit trinkets such as Karazhan Chess Set. This will summon your first 3 minions. So essentially what you do is you go into the fight with 3 or 4 units, and then your first 3 units get copied. Because of that, what you aim for is having 2 automatons on the board, preferably Taunted and Reborn, so you will summon 2 more. Now, what happens is the automatons will get stronger because you have now summoned other automatons. But not only that, you now have 4 reborn automatons on the board, which will then grow more and more. And if your 3rd unit is a Kangor, now you're resummoning all of those, and it's super strong. And there is another one that works super well with this, and which I think is even better than a Karazhan, which is hard to believe because it's already so strong, but it's Golden Fish of N'Zoth. And what you do with this one is, first of all, you have way more board space because you don't have to go into combat with 3 or 4, but you essentially have the same core. You run your 2 automatons, Taunted, Reborn, but then you also have Kangors on the board. And I actually taunted one of my Kangors in my game, which seems weird because you are essentially giving up 1 Kangor's worth of value. But the reason for this is you really, really don't want your fish to get sniped before any of your Kangors have died. And your Kangor could attack into a Mana Saber and not die, or the opponent could attack straight into your fish right after you have lost your last automaton taunt. So it's super worth to just throw away 1 Kangor to guarantee that your golden fish has it in it. And the reason for that is golden fish has twice the death rattles. So you really want to make sure that there's at least 1 Kangor in there. I had multiple fights where I just end the fight with my golden fish dying and it summons 7 golden automatons. My whole board was 400 damage automatons. Completely crazy broken, super strong. Again, will 100% get nerfed, but if you're trying to climb, a great composition to use right now. For my 3rd point, it's something that I already alluded in the previous video. Beasts are still very strong, but you have to know how to survive to get to leapers. Now, Leapers are notoriously just incredibly weak in the early game because they essentially do not function as a composition until you have your Titus. So what I did in my game was play a more death rattle slash self-damage beast composition that did not rely on Leapers at all. It doesn't really rely on Titus. And then as I survived and got into the late game, I was able to pick up a Titus, and then I transitioned into Leapers. I didn't even have the stealth Titus trinket. If I had hit that one, my board would have been even stronger. But even without it, especially if your opponent does not have perfect specific counters such as White Mane, which you can beat, by the way, by playing an Indomitable Mount, because the Mount is a tier 6, the Titus is a tier 5, so it'll taunt the Mount instead, which is super useful. So just having one Mount on the board as White Mane protection essentially just makes your comp almost unbeatable. You play Macaw with Reborn, everything is Reborn, by the way, just Reborn as much as you can. Macaw, Frog, and then what's really nice is adding Mana Saber, because Mana Saber is like Surat. It's a death rattle beast that makes more beasts, but the tokens have taunt, which is very important. That means that your Titus can't get sniped, which is extra important if you didn't roll the stealth trinket. It's even better than Surat, because if you have the board space, you can just summon 6 taunts. You know, let's say it's just Mana Saber and your Titus that's alive, you'll just summon 6 taunts if your Titus is golden, which is bonkers, super strong. That's essentially the way to play Leapers, is to not be Leapers, and then once you get Titus, then you transition into it. In my game, I was able to use Golden Touch to immediately get a Golden Titus, which is super worth, just buy the whole shop, because then you kind of just insta-win if you have a Golden Titus. Your minions get so big so fast. So those are the 3 strategies that stood out for me today. I think if you just play a lot of that, you'll do very well until the nerfs come. I'll try to keep you guys up to date if I get some more insights. I hope you guys appreciate these videos. Please do let me know in the comments. It's highly appreciated if you do. Have a great time. See you next time.